Hey Kids GIGG. Hi, we're outside on this beautiful sunny Thursday. It's called Maundy Thursday before Easter, and it's the day that Jesus washed his disciples' feet. We're going to read a story about that today. I'm going to show how important I'm going to show how important it is to wash our feet and to wash others' feet too, to do unto others as Jesus did for us. So let's wash our stuffed animals' feet. We have rabbits here because it's Easter. And here, I'll wash yours.
Okay.
And you can wash mine. All right, and I'll wash, you want to trade? All right. So maybe at home you want to wash your stuffed animals' feet or wash each other's feet and take care of each other, especially on this Easter. All right. Today we'll read again from the Storybook Bible. It's called, our story this week is called The Servant King. And I'm going to put my glasses on to read. This comes from the Last Supper from Mark 14 and John 13 and 14. It was Passover, the time when God's people remembered how God had rescued them from being slaves in Egypt. Every year they killed a lamb and ate it. The lamb died instead of us, they would say, but this Passover, God was getting ready for an even greater rescue. Jesus and his friends were having the Passover meal together in an upstairs room, but Jesus' friends were arguing. What about? They were arguing, stinky feet. Stinky feet. Yes, that's right, stinky feet. They were arguing about stinky feet. Now, the thing about feet back then was that people didn't wear shoes. They only wore sandals, which might not sound unusual, except that the streets in those days were dirty. And I don't mean just a little bit dirty. They were super dirty. They had cows and horse in the streets, and you can imagine the stuff that would end up on their feet. So anyway, someone had to wash away the dirt, but it was a dreadful job. Who on earth would volunteer to do it? Only the lowliest servant. I'm not the servant, Peter said. Nor am I, said Matthew. Quietly, Jesus got up from the table, took off his robe, picked up a basin of water, knelt down, and started to wash his friend's feet. You can't, Peter said. He didn't understand about Jesus being the servant king. If you don't let me wash away the dirt, Peter, Jesus said, you can't be close to me. Jesus knew that what people needed most was to be clean on the inside. All the dirt on their feet was nothing compared to the sin in their hearts. Then wash me, Lord, Peter said, tears filling his eyes. All of me. One by one, Jesus washed everyone's feet. I'm doing this because I love you, Jesus explained. Do this for one another. And here's the picture. Now, one of Jesus' friends had made a bad plan. No one else knew what the bad plan was, but Jesus knew, and so did Judas. Judas was going to help the leaders capture Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Go on, Judas, Jesus said. And Judas got up from the meal, left the room, and walked out into the night. And there's Judas walking out into the night. All right. Then Jesus picked up some bread and broke it. He gave it to his friends. He picked up a cup of wine and thanked God for it. He poured it out and shared it. My body is like this bread. It will break, Jesus told them. This cup of wine is like my blood. It will pour out. But this is how God will rescue the whole world. My life will break, and God's broken world will mend. My heart will tear apart, and your hearts will heal. Just as the Passover lamb died, so now I will die instead of you. My blood will wash away all of your sins, and you'll be clean on the inside, in your hearts. So whenever you eat and drink, remember, Jesus said, I've rescued you. Jesus knew it was nearly time for him to leave the world and go back to God. I won't be with you long, he said. You are going to be very sad, but God's helper will come, and then you'll be filled with a forever happiness that won't ever leave. So don't be afraid. You're my friends, and I love you. Then they sang their favorite song and walked up to their favorite place, an Olive Garden. And this is Jesus doing the first communion ever at the Last Supper, where he broke the bread and shared the wine. And we'll stop there. Remember how we've talked about the rescue plan? Well, this is it. And Easter is the celebration of Christ's resurrection and our salvation. We hope that you can share this with each other this weekend and maybe wash each other's feet. Happy Easter. You guys want to say Happy Easter?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.